You guys, I got a theme song or an intro song. Tell me what you think about it. I really, really like it.
Talking about kegs and eggs, fertility and oocytes. Talking candid while having a drink or two. You'll hear real talk from a real genetic counselor who's miscarried multiple times before. It's time for Katie Lee CGC.
Hi guys, it's Katie Lee CGC here, and welcome back to my channel. Today's Kegs and Eggs. Happy Saturday. Kegs and Eggs is a segment where I talk about my eggs, my oocytes, my fertility, and share a drink with you. And today I'm having some decaf coffee because I love coffee. I could drink it all day, but it's the afternoon, so decaf. Today, what I wanted to talk about is a New York Times article that just came out last week that someone sent to me. It is about emotional cushioning. This is not a term I had heard before, which is why I really wanted to share this because I think it describes this coping mechanism that a lot of us probably have after experiencing a miscarriage in a subsequent pregnancy. I thought it was pretty cool just to put a name to the coping mechanism of kind of expecting the worst, not getting too excited about a pregnancy after you've experienced miscarriage, which is a really common phenomenon. In a lot of the support groups I am in for recurrent miscarriage, I hear women asking all the time, like, when can you finally take a breath when you're pregnant after multiple miscarriages? And some women say it's not till that 20-week ultrasound, that fetal scan. Some women, I feel like most women, what they respond is it's not until their baby is in their arms, outside of their body, breathing and alive, and they can see it and feel it. And I honestly feel like that's probably how I'm going to be. I wasn't that nervous with my pregnancy with my sonny, but I still was holding my breath a little bit. And I think it's even normal for first time parents or people in their first pregnancy, especially if they work in healthcare, work in fertility, to be a little bit more nervous about what could happen. For me, the fear was that there would be some sort of major anomaly identified on the ultrasound at 20 weeks, which is when you can take a little bit of a closer look at some of the organ systems and how they're developing. Anyways, the article I'm talking about, it's called What to Expect When You're Expecting the Worst by Emily P.G. Erickson, and I will link it down below. If you want to check it out, I highly recommend it. The author shares that she and her partner were trying to have a third child for about 2.5 years. And in the midst of trying, she had an ectopic pregnancy and a miscarriage. And finally, she was pregnant again, and she was really nervous going into her 8-week ultrasound. She was expecting that there would be no heartbeat and that the baby wouldn't be viable, which I completely resonate with. And if you've had multiple miscarriages, you probably do too. I absolutely dread going in for my first ultrasound. I dread it. What am I expecting to see with my emotional cushioning? Something in my uterus that does not have a heartbeat. Honestly, that's what I expect because it's happened so many times in a row. Why wouldn't it happen? I still have hope for the future that I could conceive a pregnancy and it could go to live birth. And I think a big reason for that is because I was able to have my sonny before all of the miscarriages. But we don't really know what the odds are. What is emotional cushioning? It is a lovely self protective strategy that people who have lost pregnancies commonly use to cope with the stress and anxiety of later pregnancies. From some brief research, I'm pretty sure that the term emotional cushioning was created by Dr. Denise Coate Arsenault. It was pretty interesting to read where the quote came from. So I guess this Dr. Coate Arsenault had a focus group and they studied two different groups of women. One was a group of pregnant women who had a history of past losses, and the other included women who were not pregnant but had experienced losses in the past. And what they found was that the women who were the most emotional talking about their experiences and their miscarriages were the women who were slightly older and who were not currently pregnant. And then they found that the women who were currently pregnant after miscarriages were very matter of fact about their pregnancy and what's going on. They were surprised by this finding. They thought it would be the currently pregnant women who would have all of their emotions stirred up, be really, anxious, nervous, emotional about their current pregnancy, but that's not actually what they saw. The older women or the women in the retrospective group were able to explain that they too had lowered their expectations, Try not to get overly excited about a pending birth or pregnancy and not to attach to the future baby because of the devastation of the previous losses. So they were very much aware that they had done that too to kind of protect themselves. The New York Times article goes on to explain that for some, emotional cushioning can make things more stressful. For others, it's a perfectly fine coping mechanism. And if it doesn't really cause stress, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing it. And I would even go further and say it's really hard for me to imagine after 5 miscarriages in a row and 2 years of this journey, how I would not emotional cushion. Like it almost feels like it would be incredibly silly to just get super excited about a pregnancy every single time after something's happened 5 times. It's kind of like the quote, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Like, fool me 5 times. I don't think so. I'm not trying to get too attached. I'm trying to just make it through day by day, expecting the worst, hoping for the best. And I think it's fine. I don't know. I think it's fine. I'd love to hear from some of you who've experienced miscarriages and what you do to cope. Do you use emotional cushioning? Do you think there's anything wrong with that? Do your loved ones, like your partners, use emotional cushioning too? I think my partner definitely does. And again, I can't imagine how after 5 losses he wouldn't. We've both had some pregnancies where I've felt more hopeful or pregnancies where he's felt more hopeful. But overall, our excitement level is so, I mean, there is no excitement. Maybe a little bit of excitement for the hope of a baby, but a very, very low level of excitement. And that's okay. I mean, I wish it wasn't that way. I wish I could get super pumped and, enjoy that positive pregnancy test the way that I have enjoyed it when I was first pregnant with my sonny, but it's just not my reality anymore. Let me know down below, what do you think of emotional cushioning? And check out the articles too. I'll link them if you want to check them out. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Like this video and please subscribe. Take care. Bye.